Okay, so here it is on the spot that I leveled out last year. Made the driveway wider. Some logs already. Um, Still a lot of work to do on it. Not the best base in the world, but I'm going to get it set up first with those little boards. Level it out, re-square it, make sure it's okay on it, and then give it a little bit of time to settle before I put the motor head on. And then we have this pile of logs that Barbara took the bark off, and we're going to torch the ends and make a little not a lean-to cover. So we'll just take some of those. We'll take the biggest, strongest one and leave that as a beam across the front so we can roll our logs in. It's actually got to be pretty long. And then the rest will just be kind of laying up against, so we'll have some kind of a little cover, and then probably just cover it with the tarp for now so that the saw is protected from the elements. And eventually, when we're cutting more and more wood, we can add to that. I have over there where you can see that big hemlock tree. We had dropped one, and that hemlock tree, I want to cut it into some beams, maybe 4x6, and then maybe some 4x4 cross pieces, and then put it on that raised part. So that raised part there where we put sand in there is going to be like, we'll put concrete blocks in, and then again you have to level it because you want your wood to dry flat. Level it, put the beams in, put the cross pieces on, and then start cutting wood and drying it on there. So just an update on a video I did. I believe it was at the end of The Boys Were Back, where I was talking about cleaning up Varsol. So I had it in a can covered with aluminum foil, and I was afraid it was going to evaporate out. Now we finally had a jar that emptied up for us, and this is what it looks like. Not the jar, the Varsol. There, so that cleaned up really nicely. Okay, so here it is, back to close to its original form. I'll use it as a first stage of cleaning brushes. The stuff that's in the bottom of the can, the leftover, the solids, they'll dry out in the can. Now the rest of the Varsol or paint thinner will evaporate out. And then it'll just be like a powder in there that I can scrape out and throw in the garbage. So especially for up here, you know, you don't want to be pouring that stuff anywhere. It's a good way to use it up and to be able to keep using it. Saves you money. Yeah, that's it. So I'm having a frustrating day today. Came back up here and actually had a really nice time with some friends. We went ATVing probably an hour and a half to 2 hours back to a remote lake. Went fishing, caught some fish. Came back again. It was a beautiful, nice, warm, sunny day. Water in the lake was still warm. Just great, like really a real adventure for me, because I'm not used to doing that sort of thing, going through really deep water and with the ATVs. And you know, we had a winch out a couple times and got my feet really wet, but it was still a fantastic day. And so now the adventures are over, and today I'm out here to do work. Got my camera set up over by the sawmill. I was going to put more pieces of the sawmill together today because the sun was starting to come out. It was cold, but as you can see the way I'm dressed. and then I go to get some tools and it starts raining. So yeah, not too happy. So what I'm going to be doing today, I think, is, or at least now while it's like this, it's not going to bother setting up tools to work on the sawmill. I'm going to be working inside today, working on the electrical. Nice and warm inside. Still haven't started the fire since I changed the chimney. Another real bit of adventure I had is on the way back from my friends. I hit a porcupine. I'm pretty sure it was roadkill. Like it was already dead. It was just situated on the road in a way that I couldn't really swerve off the road, so I thought I'll just drive over it. I wasn't sure what it was. It was like dark and it just came up on us real quick. But it got stuck underneath and in front, kind of. So I pulled off to the side, got it out, but it the underpan on the car, and I ripped that in half. So I had to go to had to drive my friend who had to catch a flight yesterday, or no, that was this morning early. So I had to drive him yesterday so he could get to the airport. So I had to take it to a garage in town here. Really nice, friendly service. They looked after it for me right away, charged me almost nothing for it. It was like really fantastic. And just pulled the under tray off because it's not that necessary on the vehicle. So there's a bit of damage to the vehicle, but those things are big. Anyway, so excitement's over, and now I'm standing here and it's starting to lighten up like the sun's coming out. But I'm not going to get fooled again. I'm going to go work on the electrical until all these clouds are gone. All right, till later. Okay, so the sun came out and I started working on the sawmill again. Show you what I got done. Okay, so I put the I didn't go over the leveling it again. I'm going to wait till I get my laser. My daughter's still using it for a tiling job. So what I did was I put in the log clamps, which are these here. Okay, you can see that goes up against the log, and then you twist it in. So you put it into the log, and then there's the short. I don't know I don't even know what the name of them is. Those were a real pain to put in. You have to square them to the bunk below. They're the log stops. They're short ones and long ones. So if you're cutting boards or something short, you use the short ones. That's the end where the head is going to go. So there's the other log stop there. So I have an extra short one that I can put in, you're cutting short stuff. Kind of looking at it, it really doesn't look like I can get a very big log on there. However, it's meant to cut 22 inches. So I tried lifting the head, because that's the next thing to do, the motor and everything, and I could not lift it at all by myself. That was something that my friend and I were going to do, but he couldn't help me anyways. I don't think it's really, really heavy. I'll have to get my son Daniel, who's really strong, weightlifter guy, gonna help me lift it out of there and then drag it over here, put on some plywood and finish assembling the head, and then it gets kind of walked over to the track and put the wheels on, get the wheels on, put the track stops that I put in down at the end. So these two track stops are in. They're adjustable, so I'm sure they're going to be adjusted so that it stops, both wheels stop together. And then everything will be leveled again. Everything will then, once it's assembled and attached, it'll be everything will be tightened when it's in place, and then gas and oil into it, and water into the tank for cooling the blades, and then I've got logs ready here. So, see the logs here, and that oval one there is kind of a special one along with this one here. And then I have another fairly big log there, like two. So all you electric guitar builders out there who are looking for swamp ash, if there are any out there, I keep hoping, I would much rather have somebody contact me through this and say, oh, this is what I want, cut it from this part of the tree, that's how I want it done. Make it easier for me, and then someone could actually have their guitar body blank kind of cut to order. It's kind of a neat idea. So if there are any people out there that watch this channel and are into electric guitar building, then send me a message. Okay, that's it for now. So the weather changed. So yeah, couldn't really do much more on the sawmill, and the weather's good now, so I might go down there to the water and try and save Pegasus, or get Pegasus kind of deflated and out of there since it's a nice sunny day. I could be working inside on the electrical, but I kind of like saving that for when it's rainy and that, because I'd much rather be outside. Anyways, this may be a short video this time, since just finishing the sawmill is going to be quite a bit of work. I guess I just wanted to talk a little bit about, again, why I have this channel, kind of instructional. Plus I ask people for help too, because I like to get ideas, and my friend up here helped me a lot with electrical, and I've gotten a lot of ideas from people that I've spoken with. The other thing is kind of there's a lot of misinformation out there, and I watch some YouTube channels, or I watch one, and the guy was talking about how lead acid batteries are good for Canadian climate, and it's just it's wrong. It's the opposite that's true. I mean, so there's no Teslas when it's cold, or no electric vehicles? That's nonsense. I have a feeling that there are some people, especially in Canada, who are selling this equipment, and I think they've just overloaded on lead acid batteries. And whether it's AGM or whatever, it really doesn't matter. They're more expensive. If you watch Will Prowse, he does a breakdown of why. And one of the things that this guy missed, like I said, it's a good channel he tries to do, but the research wasn't there. And Will Prowse is the thing, and he's talking about, like a lead acid battery, you can only use 50% of it when it's warm. When it gets cold, like not that cold even, like minus 20, it drops to 30% capacity only. And then as it gets colder, it becomes more and more useless. So to say that these batteries are best for Canada is completely false. Lithium iron phosphate battery, it's not lithium ion, that's what you put in your cell phones and stuff. All the cars now use lithium iron phosphate. And those batteries work till minus 20. You can't charge them. You can't charge them when they reach 0 degrees Celsius, but they have a shut-off on them that stops you from being able to charge them, from saving them. So what they do in cars is they have a little heater going in there. Plus, when the batteries start being used, they create their own heat. So I try to make this channel educational as much as I can by doing as much research. A lot of research I don't have to do because I'm a retired builder, second generation. But things like batteries and stuff, like I'm not doing this to make myself rich or anything or make any money on it. It's started out to help my kids, so that they would have something there they could go back to and look at and say, oh yeah, that's how Dad did it and that's how we figured it out. And then anyone else. Plus I get ideas from other people all the time too, and I've learned a lot from other YouTube channels. So if you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button. If you have if you don't like what you see, then make a comment what you'd like to see more of. I got an enormous amount of response for my post and beam one. So I don't know if it was because it was a post and beam one, or I don't know why, but I'm kind of in the dark about that, other than it was post and beam, or it was because people, it was funny watching me fail. I mean, in the end, it ended up working, but still, it was kind of, so, like I said, I think I may add something to this still. I don't know, I'll see, but hopefully next time I have Daniel with me, and he's good and strong and can help me get that saw head out of the shed and then get it on the track, because it would be nice to start cutting lumber. Okay, that's it for now. Thanks.